Hello everyone, this is Lars. Welcome back to some more, I'm not playing Avernum. I'm going to show you the character creation. Let's see, custom, there we go. Let's start, casual, it doesn't really matter what you choose. I could have done this before I started recording, I guess, but whatever. So let's see, blah blah blah, let's see. Let's press this. The thing is with this game that archers are usually not super good, and polearms is just crap, and throwing missiles that's just horrible. You really can't use that. So the only thing you should go for is melee weapons and dual wielding. That's the best you can do. That's the best damage, and you get enough armor and so on to have good enough survivability. So some tanks, you're going to need strength and endurance. Let's see, we have 35 hit points. If we max out the endurance, blah blah blah, you need melee weapons, of course. Hardiness, level 10, Blade Master. Quick action is usually good, and dual wielding. And good health is smart. You take good health first. You take, let's see, robust health at the second, and perfect health. Well, you must be level 10 and 20, so you get it. You get it when you come there, and you have strength and that stuff. Let's see, good health, it increases with 5%. I played on normal, so it was just 4%, I think, or 3. I don't know. Let's see, 53 hit points. I didn't take anything in strength there, so that's kind of bad. You need 2 tanks. 2 guys with melee weapons. Blade Master, hardness, quick action, or parry. Parry isn't that good, actually. You can just forget about parry. And dual wielding, that's the best. And good health there too. So that's the second tank. And the order in which you start the combat is the first one goes first, second, third, and fourth. So that's something to remember. If you want a priest or healer first, that can be good, and the Spellcaster first, because you can use the buffs on them, and buffs are really important in this game. So let's see, Spellcasters, they don't need anything other than intelligence and endurance. That's kind of obvious. So let's see, and you want 1 mage. 1 mage is usually really important, because the mage is going to be the main damage dealer. You want spellcraft, and you want resistances. Resistances is really important. Magical efficiency is not super good. Luck it's kind of helpful, but I don't recommend spending any skill points in that. At least not at the start. You need arcane lore, cave lore, and tool use, and these stack in the group, so you don't need to max out cave lore on one character. So and tool use is to open doors and such things, so you can have a little bit in that. I'm going to show you on my characters from my playthrough later, but tool use isn't that important at the start, I guess, so arcane lore, it doesn't really matter. Traits, and you just take good health here too. That's probably the most important thing. And a healer, you need intelligence. This is actually kind of a preference thing. I would recommend take 1 point in endurance and 2 points in intelligence on the spellcasters. You need pre-spells. Arcane lore, spellcraft, and resistances. I would recommend doing this. It's kind of a little bit random. You get 2 skill points per level. So and this is not very good. This is restore some of your health and spell energy at the end of the combat. You can take a couple of points in this, but yeah, and the more in your party the better, so this stacks in the party. So I would recommend taking a few points in this, but not too many. And cave lore, because if you meet or some stash on the ground in caves and stuff, you have to have cave lore to use it, kind of. And let's see, good health here too. That's probably smart. And yeah, that's more or less that. But let's see. The thing is, with mages, you need a certain amount of points in mage spells to unlock the mage skills. And the same with priest spells. You need a certain amount of priest spells to unlock certain priest skills. So let's see. I don't use any of these because you need a high level of mage or a high level of priest to have them. So this might be good, but you have to remember the energy cost too. 40 energy is quite a lot, so this isn't anything you really want to rely on, because if you use this, you can use it 7-8 times in a combat round, and you're kind of screwed if you use this too much. And retribution, it's the 40 energy cost things is not good, but return to life is quite important in the late game, because you will die a couple of times and you don't want to use return to life scrolls all the time, so the return to life is pretty good. And ward of elements is also very important, but I used ward of thoughts a lot because yeah, Lars and Bunny, they got charmed and everything a lot, so I used ward of thoughts. And these two, protection and war blessing, these are kind of the two of the best buffs in the games, or in the game. So you want to use this on the first and second combat round with the priest. So yeah, and Call of the Storm has knockback, so that's very good if you get surrounded or something. I didn't use it a lot because the surround, I could survive that and I could do more AoE damage with my mage when I was surrounded. So I used this a few times if there were two hard enemies around me, or if there were enemies that were a little bit up, that were really hard. So you don't want to use this all that much, but mass healing is really important. So you need, yeah, divine fire also cost a lot of energy. It's quite good though, it's a lot of damage. So yeah, so you want at least priest spells level 10, and you want at least mage spells level, yeah, about 10. Yeah, oh yeah, dispel barrier. You really need dispel barrier to get some of the better items, because they are usually behind barriers. So yeah, the summons are not very useful, they die fast, but they kind of tank a little bit of damage, so this is a preference thing, I guess. Haste. Haste is also one of the more important buffs in the game. I would call it the most important buff. So yeah, you need at least mage skill of level 11. And when you come to level 11, you can take it on in other skills. So you should not boost your mage spells or priest spells too much, because they at a certain point they don't help enough for it to be worth it, more or less. So that's about that in talking about the characters and priest spells and stuff like that. So let's load a saved game. Let's just load this because this is the easiest place to show you a few things. Well, let's see, I could show you a couple of combat things, but I don't know where the combats are, so I'm going to show you in here. And let's see. No, oh yeah, I have to be inside, sorry about that. That was a little bit stupid. And let's look at Lars. Lars have very good survivability. He has 333 hit points, he has 22 endurance and +2 from items. So you want around 20 in endurance. That's a good number. Dexterity, I would recommend at least 10 in dexterity for warriors, because reduces your chance of being hit and helps you act sooner. Because sometimes the enemies act before you, and that's very, very bad. You want everyone to act before the enemies in the first round. So dexterity, I would say at least level 10. 14 it's a good number for me. Let's see, 16. Oh yeah, take 12, 15, around that. Let's see, endurance on her, 20, 22. So yeah, 20 endurance is enough. Lars has good damage, so 20 plus strength is also recommended. I took a couple of points in intelligence, but that was just because I totally derped. But one thing about the healer is this thing, gymnastics. Make you lighter on your feet. Each level in this skill gives a 2% chance of evading enemy attacks. That's not too important, but 10% chance of starting combat rounds with a bonus action point. And the thing is that one action costs 9 action points. Let's see. No, come on. Let's activate the fight with the F. Skip pre-spells. There we go. She has 9. Use mass healing. 0. But the thing is, she has an thing. Let's see, an item that gives her, yeah, there we go, +1 to action points. And that means that she has, no, let's finish it. I took bows on her, but I took gymnastics. So she has a chance to get 10 each turn. A pretty high chance too. And yeah, there you see. And that means she can use two things in combat. There you see, 9 skill points. Because sometimes at the start of the round, she can actually cast both of the buffs. There we go. Let's see, mage spells, haste. So, since she can cast both of the buffs at once, that means I get a lot of more protection and a lot of more chance to hit and damage. So, War Chant and Shield Chant, it's very good to have gymnastics on your healer, because of those 2 buffs. And let's see. Yeah, I really derped around here. Parry is useless and Reposit is useless. So you want around 15 points in melee weapons. Around that. Hardiness, this goes only up to level 10. So level 10 in hardiness, level 10 in blade master. I would recommend, you need level 10 in quick action to get to level 10 in dual wielding, because you can't have more of the skills that are over the ones under. Yeah, you can't have more points there than you have in the skills under it. I don't know how that happened. I think these are combined actually. Yeah. Or I had an item that increased it, so I could take... Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You kind of want gymnastics on the tanks too, but it's not that important. It costs a lot. But the thing is, you want 10 in either pre-spells or mage spells to get level 10 in resistances. That's 30 resistance to all hostile magical effects, both damage and curses. And that's really, really important. So after you get, say you get level 10 in melee weapons first, couple of points in blade master, and go up to dual wielding quite fast, because that's awesome damage. And then you want to start going up the resistances. That's pretty important. And about tool use, cave lore and arcane lore. I have 2 on Lars in arcane lore. That's 2. Let's see. That's 4. That's 6. 11. And 12. And I didn't encounter anything that I needed higher cave lore for. So yeah, that's that. Spread them out evenly. That's very, very smart to do. So yeah, take a little bit of cave lore. That's smart. And tool use. I have 1 plus 5, that's 6, and plus 1 because of my item, but 6, 11, and yeah, and I didn't encounter anything that I couldn't unlock with tool use, just a couple of doors, but usually you needed keys for that, so tool use is okay, but you don't want to spend too much points in those. Yeah, 5, 5, and 1, it's... yeah, you want to spread them out a little bit, and 10 is definitely enough. And arcane lore, familiar with magical lores, used to decode magical inscription and spells. You get these things, I don't know how they look, like books on a pedestal or whatever it is. And you need that to decipher it, more or less, so you can learn spells from it, and that's a free level up of a spell. So I didn't encounter anything that I couldn't decipher, just a couple of things, but not so much in the start. But you won't want this in the start, because there were a couple of points I couldn't decipher stuff in the start, and that more or less made me so I lost a few levels in some skills. And I have 11, 0, 8, that's 19. And at level 19 I didn't encounter anything that I couldn't decipher. So that's that. You want to boost this quite fast actually. Yeah, you really do, because buying leveling skills are quite expensive. So boost this to a couple of levels. Like the 3 first levels, you take 3 skill points here and 3 here, and yeah, sort of even it out a little bit. You can actually save some points, so you don't use them in vain. Like, yeah, that's kind of a little bit stupid, but whatever. You want arcane lore, some first aid, it's a little bit useless, because if you have better healing, and the healing doesn't cost that much, so you won't have a good use for it. You can use mass healing instead, or minor heal. Minor heal is actually quite amazing when you get at this level. So just when you finish the combat, you just use minor heals instead. That's more or less the best thing you can do, because yeah, this is just a waste of skill points. Actually, I have just 2 points in it, so I didn't waste a lot. And luck, I have a little bit in luck, but not much. 4 points, or 5 with items, so yeah, I don't really know how much luck matters. But the thing with spellcasters, like you see I have level 8 plus 10, that's more or less 100% chance to get the extra action point. So you actually want level 10 on your spellcasters, because they do the most damage and they are just awesome with the buffs and so on. So get to level 10 in gymnastics. That's really important on your spellcasters. You can't really afford it on your tanks or melee guys, because 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, that's a lot, and 10, 10, 10, yeah, that's really much to make your tanks or melee dudes good. So yeah, it's really important. So you want level 10 on your spellcasters on these two. Pretty important. And if we see items, I have +1 action points on something here too. I think. No, maybe not. Okay, I don't have that. I thought I had it, but you you use an item that gives you +1 action point, and you have level 10 in gymnastics, you're almost guaranteed to get 2 moves in combat. So that's important. Haste is the most important thing to use as buff on your mage. That's just insane. You want to use that. And you want to use some cloaks. So cloaks, you take those. Cloak of bolts is crap. Cloak of blades are good. Groups melee attacks do more damage. So this is a good cloak. But Cloak of Arcane is also quite important, or it can be. It costs way too much mana, I feel, but it makes your spells more effective. But I didn't encounter a place where I really needed that. So, Cloak of Blades, and yeah, that's more or less it with the skill points and stuff. And when you enter a combat and you notice you're about to die, that's a big problem. So you're in a combat, you're about to die. Let's say 3 of your guys actually died. And the thing you can do is go to the edge of the where you went in, to this purple thing. And if you go out with one person, that person will take your, or you can run away like that. So that's important to know. That's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, when you go back to town, let's see, check our mana. Or a friendly town, that is. Your mana and health will be at full, and the hero that died will be revived. So if you're having a really bad time, a couple of heroes died, and you get to run out, you just go back to a town. And that is pretty important, because healing potions are pretty sparse in this game, and also energy potions. They are quite hard to come by. So that's very important to know. So you want to go back to town often, or at least I did. And the, let's see, no, what? These ones, invulnerability potions. You do not want to use those very much. You just want to use those on the hardest fights, because the further you get out, if you use these, you can be in a lot of trouble. Let's see, let's use this. This gives you 80% resistances to all damage. And that's really important in some fights, some really badass fights. You want to use that. It's just 4 turns though, but the elixir is 8 turns. Let's see, yeah, and these don't stack, actually, so be careful about using those, and be careful about using healing potions and everything. And the scepters or rods, they are not very useful in the late game. They are just crap, and the scrolls are also crap, except the buff scrolls, because the scrolls use less action points. So you can use a scroll and then have another action, and Battle Frenzy is really awesome. As you can see, you have more action points. So Battle Frenzy is quite awesome. Let's see how many I have of those. 5, that's 4 turns. You can get a lot of speed burst things. War Chant, what's War Chant again? Oh, that's that thing, okay. So yeah, you want to use the scrolls and the magic wands, you want to use them early, because they are more or less useless later in the game. I am not going to talk so much about items you can use. The only thing to know is some items have negative hit chance, so minus 5% hit chance. It's okay to have it on a couple of items. She hits almost every time now, so let's see, 15, 20, 25. So it's kind of dangerous, but I think a few items with negative hit chance is okay. But sometimes the gain from some stats is not worth having negative hit chance. For example, some armor have a negative 20% hit chance, and that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. So yeah. And these emeralds and stuff. You have a junk bag, and if your inventory gets full, you can just put it in your junk bag and it doesn't go away. I did actually not notice that before, quite late in the game. So yeah. And when you go to someone that trades, you can take sell all in junk bag. So you want to use your junk bag. The junk bag is awesome. You want to pick up everything that has some value though. That's quite important. Because money is... In the start, you don't have a lot of money. So yeah, and you want to use your money to buy levels in skills and traits and so on. And another thing that's really important, oh yeah, we have the buff still. So let's see, let's get our buffs off us. Let's see, there it is, it's gone. And you have battle disciplines. I also didn't notice that before late in the game, so that was stupid. But the thing that I found the best is adrenaline rush, because when you use that, you have 20 action points. So you go up to an enemy, let's see, finish the combat, and the thing is you get 20 action points no matter how little action points you have left. So you can have 1 action point left, use adrenaline rush, and you have 20. So you can go up to enemies, use the adrenaline rush, and you can hit 3 times. And you want the buffs before you use that. So that's about it. I talked a little bit about the items. You want +1 action points on your spellcasters. It's not that important on your melee guys or tanks, because you need so many points in different stuff, so you can't afford taking anything in gymnastics. And the items that gives you +1 action points isn't worth it on the melee dudes. So yeah, that's about that. And one final thing, that's probably the most important thing to remember. That is that you should not kill the dragons. Do not kill the dragons, guys. I screwed myself over. If you watched this playthrough or a couple of videos, some of the last videos, you saw that I needed to use a cheat code, because I killed all the dragons. And Koth gives you the tower ritual and so on, so you can do one of the final quests, slay the emperor and so on. Skaragath, no. Oh, Sulfrath, he gives you something, I don't remember what it was. Athron gives you a password. I don't think I killed Motrax, but he gives you something too, I don't remember what it was. And there's a dragon some other place that you shouldn't kill, because he gives you... Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but... Yeah, whatever. But you need food. Let's see. Do I have any food there? At all? No? Okay, I don't have any food, but whatever. You get some food like... Oh, there we go, roll. And this heals for 5 to 9. This is okay to use in the start, because you don't have a lot of... healing or potions or anything, and you get a lot of food later in the game. So you want to use some of the food to heal yourself, but you also want to keep some meat, or other food, because there are a few encounters when the dudes you encounter want meat. So yeah, keep a little bit of meat. This is kind of a little bit spoilerish, but it's okay. Keep a little bit of food, a little bit of meat. And another thing is quest log. These crystals, I killed some guys I shouldn't, so I didn't get 6 crystals, because you need 6 crystals to complete this, but that's not important. You don't want to do like me, I just killed everything. And the password, and you need a dragon. I haven't gotten the other ones yet, but it's 4 parts. I got the first, second, third, I think. Whatever. And the brooches. These are... yeah, just watch my last video. Just fast forward to the end or something, and you see what the brooches do. Yeah. So that's about that. Oh no, there's one more thing I want to show you. Let's see. Okay, I have to go really far. Let's see if they have one in here. There's some opslagstavle. What the heck is the name in English? Some boards where you put stuff. Well, whatever. It's clickable things in the some of the cities, and you can take missions there. That's kind of side missions. So yeah, it's a couple of missions that you don't get from people. So just look around and try and click at things. The things highlight when you can click it. So that's some free experience. What else? Let's see. Yeah, you can steal stuff. And if you steal something in sight, people will get angry. But there's... you don't always... yeah, there we go. He got angry. So I have to kill him. Let's see. Just smite him to death, I guess. It doesn't matter. He's not that hard. Like this. I should actually just have used the... I should have used this just to make it faster. And there we go. The combat is over. And yeah, if you steal stuff, the entire town will hate you. And you don't want to kill an entire town, because then you can't finish the quests and so on. And yeah, you're kind of screwed. I killed an entire town. I don't know what it was. It was... no. Yeah, well, I killed an entire town and I couldn't complete the quest. It was pretty stupid. Well, it was also pretty funny. So that's about that. That's all I have to say about the game. I hope you got a few useful tips. So, yep, that's it. And I will see you later.